I find a few friends, and we arrive at the house of Nguyen Thi Bach Zuong on Hom Ha Street. Although Zuong and her husband, Nguyen Van Hai, operate in the business world for their work, their passion for the Ka Chu has turned one room of their house into a traditional performance space. The couple describes Ka Chu as a sung poem, into which the music of Vietnamese language is already built. The rhythm and harmony of the music follows a set structure that is difficult for most common people to understand, Ka Chu having a scholarly and literary history. And Mrs. Zuong does appear to be an excellent scholar of the music. She began studying Ka Chu in 2000 and has since taken part in many cultural programs with her husband, receiving a gold medal at a festival in Hanoi several years ago. The room is decorated with ancient and imitation ancient things, with the faint fragrance of aloes wood in the air. We are told that the first song performed is a meditation of Vuong Tuy Kieu, a character in one of Vietnam's most famous book-length poems called The Tale of Kieu. Nguyen Du, the 19th century author of the poem, is considered the Shakespeare of Vietnamese language. Du created a reflection of society through the ups and downs of Mrs. Kieu's life. Today, The Tale of Kieu is Vietnam's most widely translated literary work. For almost 40 years, Ka Chu performances were rare. During the times of war, Ka Chu all but disappeared because it is a style of music that requires a slow pace of life to appreciate. That slow pace also presents a challenge to Ka Chu's thriving today. It's seen as antique as something in a museum, Mr. Hai explains, adding that the last generations of trained professionals in Ka Chu are now in their 80s. A Ka Chu performance requires at least 3 members. Zuong's role is that of the singer, or adao. In addition to singing, she plays a percussion instrument called the thek. Mr. Hai is the male instrumentalist, or kep, and plays a 3-string instrument called the dan dai. The third person plays the drums called chom chow, to keep time. In the past, the drummer was often the poet of the sung poem, or at least someone who knew the piece very well. Ka Chu has a very different sound than the music I usually listen to. I really love the harsh minimal drum beat and the sweeter melody of the 3-string lute, and also the really interesting percussion rhythms. I would love to learn more about how to play this.
You must put immediate one time.
Created under the post-Li dynasty of the 11th century, it was originally a very noble style of music, only performed at temples and palaces. Later, it became more popular, and today is performed in clubs and private homes, like Zuong's.
I think you can learn Ka Chu. Oh, yeah.
Zuong tells me that the thek is a bamboo instrument beaten with 3 wooden sticks. Quickly or slowly, high or low, the singer matches the sound of the thek as the main instrument of Ka Chu. To learn Ka Chu, the singer must assume the proper seating position first. Because Zuong is aware that I want to play the thek simply out of curiosity, she lets my poor posture slide for this first lesson.
So we have to stand and we use this kind. So if I do it, twist on it.
As someone who's not a drummer, the fetch is a little hard to get used to. After some practice, though, I was starting to get the hang of it. There's still so much to learn about Ka Chu.
Yeah. It's really that.
Mrs. Wang and her husband not only know about kachu, but other traditional forms of music. My friends and I used the phek to join in a chao, traditional operetta melody.
Cái con người ngọc hỡi chàng chàng ơi